All right. It looks like everything's going to be pretty good for the final screen. Audio's working, mic's working. I can hear the game audio. So I would say pretty good. Pretty good. All right. Hopefully that didn't jinx it too much. All right, we're good to go. Welcome everyone to the finale of Xenogears. It's been a long road, I would say. It's a very long game. Just to see our playtime, and I didn't do near everything. I intended for this to be a 100% playthrough, but there's a lot of things I missed. We're at 54 hours. So if you were to kind of go out of your way to do absolutely everything, you can, you can get all of the rewards for the battling minigame, and through that unlock all of the rest of the discs for the jukeboxes, and get, the best equipment possible, all of that. You're looking at a 90-hour game. So plus this stream is, I would estimate, going to be about 3 hours or so. I think we can finish the game in 3 hours. That long, yeah. The battling minigame's no joke. The rewards are stupid. Like the amount of battle points you need for the rewards are like stupid high. All right, it's a little loud on my my headphones. Give me one sec. All right, we're going in them. So as I said, off camera, I did. Oh, there's an echo. One sec. Okay. Been in this ride for 54 hours. Yeah. Granted, at least like an hour and a half of that was me grinding off camera before this stream. So as I said I would, I did some grinding off camera. I grinded for money. The main way I did that is you can go back to the second Anima Relic dungeon, the one with all the gear dungeon with all the Croaker tribes. And the enemies, there are two primary enemy troops that appear in that dungeon. There's like the group of 6 Croaker tribe people, and then there are the Tusks. The Croaker tribes drop scales, fangs, and eyeballs, and the Tusks drop fangs and ivory. And maybe eyeballs as well, I'm not sure. But either way, really, really, really valuable items that you can then go to Nortune, which is still around. You can go to the B-Info Center at Nortune, or the Blue Crystal thing at Nortune, and sell them for a lot of money. And you can make a lot of money pretty quickly. I have found that to be the best way of making money in this part of the game. I also went ahead off camera and I did all of Doomman Island. Now, I know technically that's content of the game that I didn't show on camera, but it's really not that much. So you can look up a video if you really want to see Doomman Island. If you look up a video, there's really not that much to it. It's an endless desert that you wander for days, and then you eventually come across a dinosaur skeleton that has a sword stuck in it. That's Citan's ultimate weapon, and then you can get Billy's ultimate weapon, the Godfather. Sorry, and the Godfather is actually the one we've gotten a lot of Godson ammo throughout the game. The Godfather, and we haven't been able to use any of that. The Godfather gun is what actually uses the Godson ammo. So you can get that from Doomman Island. You can fight some really powerful enemies. There are gear-type enemies, the dragons, that you can fight on the ground because they don't allow you to take your gears into Doomman Island. So there are methods that people have used online. There's a particular item for Faye called the Power Crisis, or you can use it on any of the characters, but if you put it on Faye, the Power Crisis, it will drastically increase your health, or no, sorry, it drastically increase your attack power the lower health you are. So there's a strategy to beating the dragons on the ground by just giving Faye the Power Crisis, keeping him at really low health, and then just like going ham with death blows. I'm not going to do all that because I sold my Power Crisis to make more money, because I prioritize equipment. This late in the game, I prioritize equipment over XP. But if you ever find yourself, if you ever end up playing this game, and you find yourself really low on levels this late in the game, that is a strategy to try to grind EXP really quickly in the late game. So, what I end up using the money for? Well, I went back to... I said I would buy some of the GNR20s, the really good engines. No, they're not engines, actually. They're engine amplifiers that Big Joe sells at his shop in Zeboim. I didn't actually end up doing that. Instead, I went with buying Z-Chargers. Z-Chargers, as you may remember from before, make your charge... make the charge action in your gear charge 200, maybe even 250, let me check. They charge 500, sorry, 500 fuel with each charge. I find, since Deus is a pretty long dungeon, and there are not that many places to refuel, and it's a completely gear dungeon, I find this is better for general longevity. So I ended up going with 3 Z-Chargers, 1 on each of my the main gears I'll be taking with me. By the way, this is the party I'll be starting out with. I will be changing party members throughout the dungeon. It is, again, a pretty long dungeon. But this is the party I'm taking in. I'm taking in Faye and Xenogears, Citan and Fenrir. Of course, Faye and Xenogears is required, but Citan and Fenrir, and then Maria and Zeebsen. And here's my equipment if you're curious. I give everyone ether armors because the Seraph Angels that will be going up against in Deus all use ether attacks. There are some devastating physical attacks, but I think I have good enough frames on each of the on each of my gears to be able to withstand that. There are tough enemies, don't get me wrong, and I honestly work a little underleveled for this. I could go now and grind. This is not going to be the easiest dungeon. You can make this dungeon a cakewalk completely if you were to grind for many hours for all the money in the world and go to Big Joe's shop, get all the best engines in the game, get the Omega 100 engine that only has 1,000 fuel, but it deals like massive damage with every attack, and then get like all the best engine amplifiers. You can make this dungeon a complete cakewalk. I didn't feel that necessary, nor did I want to put in the effort into grinding that much. I think we can get through with this party. It will be tough, but I think we can get through. So, with all that being said, I have shown, at this point, everything I've wanted to show in the endgame last time. Besides Duneman Island, which I finished up while off camera. You can get some of the, basically, summing up, a bunch of Dunemen have a bunch of treasure on this island, and you can go around and find, like, fossils where there are the character's ultimate weapons there. That's it. Which is kind of useless anyway, because most of them are ground ultimate weapons, and this is, the last dungeon is a gear dungeon, so not super useful anyway. And you can grind XP. That's to sum it up. So, yeah, last time I talked to all the people in the Snowfield hideout, the people who were previously in Shabbat. We found Ramses again. We did Emeralda's questline in Zeboim. We went back to Nortune. We found Big Joe, and we saw his backstory in the Zeboim under the lighthouse, the Akivia lighthouse. So I think all of our character storylines have been resolved. We even talked to Dan, and we saw his character storyline resolve as well, and the Thames captain. Whether or not he's alive, that's kind of up for debate, I guess. But with all that being said, I think it's time we head on to Deus. After our failed attack on Merkava, Deus morphed into his final form and completely took over Merkava. So Merkaba is no longer just an arc, it is itself a morphed form of Deus that we must infiltrate in order to stop it. In order to destroy the Zohar, in order to free Ellie, free the wave existence, and free our world. Let's go. There is a core within Deus that is powered by the Zohar. That core is what we have to take out. Let's go for it. It's trying to morph the planet and terraform it into an interstellar weapon and destroy civilization in the process. The stakes are certainly high. And we have landed. Oh, that's the exit. Never mind. Hang on. Technical difficulties here. I went to the exit, not the entrance. How was I supposed to know? They just plop you down. No explanation. Now, if you remember, this is technically the party's second time going through Merkaba. This is us for the player. This is our first time going through Merkaba, our first and only time going through Merkaba. The mapping of the inside of Deus is now completed. Okay, let's go, everyone. But the characters themselves infiltrated Merkaba a little while back to after Krelian had kidnapped Ellie and first made their Merkaba. That's where we fought Ramses and Miang for those horrid fights. Yeah, it was all within here. So now we're actually getting to see the full dungeon, whereas before the Disc 2 game, as per usual, kind of skipped through the dungeon. So these are our first examples of the Seraph Angel type enemies. It's a new type enemy that we have not seen before. These are kind of the basic types, the Sword Seraphs. These are the ones that use physical attacks. These generally aren't too bad. There are other Seraph enemies that are much worse than this. Just a nice level 1 death blow should do. Having those Z-Chargers as a bit of a cushion is really, really nice. Don't have to worry too much about fuel usage, because I have that. And as Faye said, we start with the map. There's no need to find a map in this place. We start with the map right from the get-go, which is going to be pretty useful. Doesn't make it necessarily easy, as we'll get to, but it's useful for this first part anyway. None of these we can interact with. I know that there are some treasure. There's some treasure troves in some of the dead ends. I'm not quite sure which. Eagle Blades. Oh my gosh, this is one of the worst status effects in the game. Fuel leaks. Yeah, the Eagle Blades can induce fuel leaks. There are enemies in the past that have been able to do that too, that we just haven't seen it yet. This makes each of your, well, first of all, yeah, you can see there, it makes your fuel decrease over the course of a battle as though you were in booster the whole time, even if you aren't. And it makes your attacks more costly, and they can heal! Damn it! We're going against some of the absolute worst enemies. Something out of Zones of the Enders. I have not actually seen it. So I wouldn't quite know what you're talking about, but I'll trust you on that. I will go ahead and inform you that I will have to stop at some point, very briefly. There's going to be a person coming around my room trying to use my printer. So I have to stop briefly to do that. There's a... This, jump over that. Where are we going here? Okay, never mind. Eagle Blades basically shank you. Oh. Neat. Hitting pretty hard. 1700 damage is nothing to joke about, especially with the number of enemies we will inevitably be fighting. We have Z Chargers. You can heal. The Z Chargers themselves don't heal, but you can build up enough fuel to heal. Okay. So wait. Now we're here. Okay, it's facing backward, which is a little weird. The little icon on the map is facing backward. Interesting. Okay. Oh, this is a heal bot. Let's just charge here. Oh, never mind. There is a different enemy. There's a heal Seraph later on that I'm thinking of. This is not a heal bot. This is hostile. Ah, okay. Hey, exposed the real enemy. Take him out. Do we even want to search this area? That's the question. I don't even think I particularly want to. I believe you have to head to the robot with shoulder missiles or heal bot. Okay, hang on. I know there are heal bots. There heal bot enemies earlier on in the game that look like that. So chill out. It's in the I'm thinking of the Goliath facility earlier on in the game. That place has heal bots that look like that. I just went ahead and ran from that battle. There's no really point to it. Not the right way. Okay. We have to make our way, by the way, to the northeast corner of this map. These suck. Run. I don't care. I'll fight them when they actually show us some new enemies. There we go. Come on. More Eagle Blades. Eagle Gunners. They deal a lot. Okay. Sure, I'll keep my word. I'll fight you. Oh, you go down pretty easy. Last cannon, Mark. Alright, here we are. Ah, this part. One sec. Heal up, Xenogears here. Heal up all of our gears, why not? We can just spend the next battle and charge a little bit in the next battle. Alright, so there are a couple of these little tunnel parts in this dungeon. You have to dodge some beams. You can take damage. Be careful. Although the depth perception here is not the best. Oh, damn it. Oop. 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 We're good. I think there are 3 of those in total. I think it's like a tank, yep. Alright, so now we have come to the main part of Deus. That first little honeycomb-like labyrinth section is nothing. This is the main part of the final dungeon. And it's hell. So, I have to say, Deus is without a doubt the worst designed dungeon in the game. The keyword there is worst designed dungeon. I dislike Kislev Sewers more than this, mainly on account of its lack of story relevance, but this is a more annoying dungeon overall, and we'll get into that. Hey, over there. We may be able to get down through that gate. So, as they say, the goal of this entire part is to get down there. Easier said than done. Because that central part, that central black dot, doesn't have any bridges connecting to it that we can actually access. So we're in for the long haul. The central part has no random encounters, so we don't have to worry too much about it. Looking like Origin. Yeah, you can definitely see the inspiration here. The purple color, the kind of purple color scheme, the data-like structures all around it. This whole place is constructed purely of Krellian's nanomachines. It is a huge nanomachine colony. And yeah, it does kind of resemble Origin. In fact, I remember when I first went into Origin in Xenoblade 3, except Origin is a much, much better designed dungeon. In fact, I will actually say that Origin is one of, not the best designed Xeno dungeon in the entire series. But yeah, when I first went into Origin, there's a room that kind of looks like this that's much smaller, and I legitimately thought that they were just going to do like Deus 2.0 for that. But this place is much better. No random encounters for this central room. There are other rooms we will be going into that do have random encounters, and actually I want to go there. I want to stay up there. Okay, so I have a guide on my phone because this place is quite complicated. Just making sure I'm kind of on the right track here. What might this be? Faye, you think we should look it over? Well, we can move it, and there is a hexagon below, the little thing below, moves. So this bridge moved. You can see that reflected on the map. So let's see. Then do anything for us, out of curiosity. Now let's just go over this way, which may lead to some treasure. Other than that, I don't think so. I do like that they play the Premonition soundtrack in this place. To me, this song embodies Xenogears. Like, this one song is like, it embodies all the mystery and crazy sci-fi of Xenogears. What is this? Something turned. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So yeah, there is now a bridge connecting. So our goal again is the red dot. I think I may have said the black dot accidentally, but our goal is the red dot in the middle. You can see the one to the left of it turned 45 degrees counterclockwise, and is now connected with the bridge that leads up to the upper left-hand corner. So that makes progress. Now we just have to turn the bridge in the center counterclockwise 90 degrees. So there's another sensor that we need to find that does that. We'll have to do some exploring to get there. And plenty of backtracking. But yeah, I was kind of starting to talk about the dungeon design, or what I think of the dungeon design here. It sucks. There's a lot of stuff here that they don't convey to you well at all. I remember getting lost for a while in my first time through. I know a lot of people that got lost for a while. But you don't hear as many people online complain about this final dungeon near as much as you hear people complain about the Kislev Sewers or Babel Tower. I've already said my piece on Babel Tower. Babel Tower I actually will defend. I don't think it's that bad. At least to a dead end, right? So we gotta go over here. I don't think Babel Tower is that bad. I've already said that. And I think similarly to Babel Tower, this place's atmosphere really isn't that bad. The way they do the music, the way, you know, all of that, I think it's like, it's got this nice design, a lot of the same reasons that I enjoy Origin, atmospherically, in Xenoblade 3. But, at the same time, gears move very slowly, the central room is very big, and as we enter into these other parts of the dungeon, here we get to the really bad stuff. These hallways have random encounters. We haven't had one yet, but they do have a random encounter. If random encounters, I should say. And dead ends that don't lead you anywhere, that just waste your steps until you get into another random encounter. We'll be fighting a lot of Seraph Angels. Power Seraphs. Oh, I wanted to charge. These things hit like a truck. So on the subject of resemblances between Xenogears and other Xeno games, with Deus having resemblances to what was later Origin, I want to talk about, while we're here, a lot of the connections. Now that we've seen basically the full extent of the Xenogears story, except the ending, I want to talk about all of the ways that Xenogears connects so closely with the rest of the Xeno series. Now, I'll be restricting my talk to specifically Xenoblade, because I know many people in my chat are not familiar with Xenosaga. So I'll be restricting it specifically to Xenoblade. I want you to think about the events of specifically the second disc. We have a group of people, Solaris, who we confirmed are working the entire game to resurrect God. We have a God that lay dormant for thousands and thousands of years, but basically had its own, kind of inserted itself in a way through Miang, as a way of manipulating the world into a cycle of destruction and recreation to where ultimately it could be resurrected. Sounds pretty close to Xenoblade 1. Or at least it should, if you're paying attention close enough. Sounds a lot like Zanza, except Zanza's, has more of a personality as a villain, of course, than Deus. By the way, the fight took forever. I think I'll be fighting every enemy here once, and nothing more. You can get angel armor from these enemies, which is pretty good. You also don't want to hit those beams when you go through those little gates. Alright, where are we off to? Let's go this way. Yeah, there are definitely resemblances. Zanza, the latter third. Words are coming out wrong. In the last third of Xenoblade 1, you discover that the entire war between the Bionis and Mechonis was manufactured by Zanza, and the entire thing was manipulated by Zanza in order to eliminate Zanza's rival, the Mechonis, from being able to impede his desires, and to ultimately usher in a cycle of destruction and recreation to where he could never be forgotten and he could always be worshipped. That was the idea. That was Zanza's whole plan in Xenoblade 1. Sounds awfully similar. Now that we know what Miang did to the Zeboim civilization, Miang was responsible for manipulating the politics of the world into going to war, because the humans of that world had developed a genetic defect. She manipulated the politics of the world into going into war and destroying themselves in a nuclear war so she could reset humanity. Sounds an awful lot like a cycle of destruction and recreation. Humanity has been through several of these cycles. Nearly all of it was wiped out. First in the Zeboim civilization by the nuclear war, and then in the Shavat Solaris War, after the Shavat Solaris War, when Groth summoned the Diabolos and ushered in the Day of Collapse, nearly wiped out all of humanity as well. So, very close to a cycle of destruction and recreation, spearheaded by a god, Deus through Miang, just like how Zanza manipulated the world into his own cycle of destruction and recreation because he had been forgotten. Now, of course, the motives are different. Deus is trying to resurrect itself because it's an AI, and it's a computer that's acting on a program to try to recreate itself because it can't go dead. Zanza is acting purely on his own ego because he doesn't want people to forget him. And he wants friendship. Or something like that. At least that's what Alvis claims. I believe, personally, his motives are quite a bit more complicated than that, and I think that shows quite a bit in the game, and I could go on a whole other discussion about Zanza. I actually think he's one of my favorite Xeno villains as a whole. I think he's very underrated, very underappreciated. But anyway, yeah, so there are definitely resemblances. Not only between Xenoblade 1 and Xenogears, these may actually be the heel serifs. Let me charge for a minute. Yes, they are. Okay, I'm right. These are the heel serifs. Nice. Not only with Xenoblade 1, but also with Xenoblade 2, If you think about Xenoblade 2, we have a sunken civilization beneath the sea that destroyed itself in a war, that being Moritha, very similar to Zeboim. We have a religious organization, Indal, acting much like the Ethos does on behalf of Solaris in the Xenogears world, being essentially an arms dealer for two sides of a big war, the war between Moradane and Uriah. And it's very similar. Indal manipulates the politics of its world behind the scenes by picking and choosing where it sends the blades to, because it's in charge of the cleansing process for all the blades and all rest, and manipulates the war in its own right. Not to mention, Xenoblade 2, much of Xenoblade 2's lore relies on a war that happened. We're going southeast. On a war that happened 500 years ago, just like in Xenogears, the Shavat Solaris War 500 years ago, and the tragedies of that war influenced Graf and Krelian both to go down the paths that they went down. Very similar to Jin, perhaps. And I've already said that Krelian's backstory is pretty similar to Jin. And the whole setup of the 500 years ago war with ancestors of some of our characters is very similar to the Torn of the Golden Country setup. So you can see inspiration behind that. So yes, Xenoblade 2 takes a lot from Xenogears as well. And finally, Xenoblade 3. I could go... The Xenoblade 3 has the most, probably... Or I should say the most obvious inspiration from Xenogears. Oh, we have... Okay, nice. I forgot this existed. Yeah, this is like the one place in the entire dungeon where you can restore your gear fuel. Nice to know. Okay. Xenoblade 3 has a war between two countries that have warred for so long, perpetually, that everyone that is currently in the current times of those worlds has forgotten the reason why the war started, manipulated by a secret organization from behind the scenes. And that secret organization has a vested interest in preserving the current state of the world for some higher purpose. Whether it be Zed literally maintaining his existence as the embodiment of the world's fear of change and the fear of the future, or it's Deus's trying to maintain its own existence as a supercomputer AI that needs to restore itself after a crash. So, yeah, you can see inspiration for Xenogears in all of the other Xeno games, and to me, that's the most enlightening part about playing Xenogears. I'm going to make a whole bonus stream after this one about Perfect Works, and I'll talk a lot more about this then, but there is a reason why I think every single fan of the Xenoblade series, even just the Xenoblade series, forget Xenosaga, Xenoblade's the biggest one, every person who has played Xenoblade, especially since the series has recently become so popular, absolutely should go back and play Xenogears. I know it's a tedious game. I know it's, it has a lot of moments, and oh my gosh, they hit like a truck. 8,000 damage, okay. Shit. We're escaping from this one. But I really do think it's worth it, seeing the roots behind the rest of Takahashi's stories in his first story that he wrote. There's inspiration in Xenogears for the rest of the Xeno series. And it's enlightening to see, because in reality, Xenogears is like Takahashi's first senior project. And the project's final form didn't really match up with his ambitions. And so he tried again and again throughout the rest of his career to try to fully tell the story he intended to tell in Xenogears. By the way, that fight was a train wreck, as I was talking during it. 9,999 damage against Xenogears, and I was accidentally charging for much of it that I didn't realize until partway through, instead of escaping. But yeah, that was kind of what I wanted to say about that. There's more to everything I'm saying here that I'll talk about in the bonus stream. Okay. By the way, the outer tunnels of this main room loop around. So if you remember, we went into one of the tunnels on the south end of this room, and we went further south through those tunnels, and we ended up back on the north end of the same room. So they loop around. That's something I took me a while to realize my first time through, but the tunnels, where all of the random encounters are, loop around this big room, and that's how you can access the other parts of the dungeon that you can't access without the bridges. Or that you otherwise couldn't access without the bridges. So where does this lead? Okay, that will take us back to the tunnel to the west. I don't want to go there yet. I want to see what's up here. Another story connection, cross-game story connection with Xenogears. Xenogears, I may have briefly mentioned this near the beginning when we saw the Luca cameo, but Xenogears was originally intended to be a sequel to Chrono Trigger. And if you think about the setup of Xenogears' story, we have an interplanetary system, life form of some sort, that crash-landed accidentally onto the planet long time ago, and secretly manipulated all of the actions of the planet's entire history for thousands of years. In Chrono Trigger's case, millions of years. There is definitely a close connection, a close similarity perhaps, between Deus and Lavos. Something to think about there. I think it's pretty cool. Okay, so we touched that sensor. What did that do? Okay, so now we have a connection. Nice. Okay, perfect. Then we can just head on to the center. I do want to see, though, what is over in the west tunnel. There's also this. What is this? Wait. Oh, okay. I see. You can turn this. You can turn the pathway that goes to the west tunnel around 180 degrees. That's what the little green circle is for. You can have it go over there, and it's a kind of a shortcut back to the other side of the big room. Kind of back to where we started this. Okay, I'm realizing now I need to heal before I get into another tough random encounter here. Especially Fenrir. Okay. Fuel-wise, I think we're fine. I think maybe Fenrir can stand to do some charges next battle. I think we're okay. What's this one looking like? Okay, so that's how we need to go up into the little exit in the northeast part of this room to be able to get to the road that we constructed that leads to the center. Although, I am curious what else is around here. Maybe there could be something good. Or more Seraph Angels, that's true too. Ah, I should have saved. Okay, whatever. Oh, this is a free charge. Should have saved, meaning I should have saved charging for when I was... Or I should have saved healing for when I was here. Let's use this time to get Fenrir back to full charge. Just because we can. And you know what? Actually, you can just attack it, never mind. Refill our fuel there? So I guess it can refill fuel and HP. Or maybe the first attack is fuel and the second attack is HP? Something like that. Either way. Try to get Fenrir up to full charge. And we'll have Fenrir deal the final blow so we can get some heals. Or the final healing blow, at least. The next one after... Oh. It refueled again. Didn't even heal any of our HP. Fraud. How much of a heal Seraph are you? Okay. Let's go to the southeast corner. There's a little dead end over there. This may just be a dead end. Or there may actually be something here. Nope, it is a dead end. Never mind. Ah, the Earth Seraphs are the worst. They have those halo attacks. They also straighten their arms like this. Do a lot of damage. We're escaping from those. We're not fighting those. Even if it may be a little difficult, I think we're a fine enough level to actually take on Deus. Or the core of Deus, I should say. Okay, so this... Gosh! Let me get to the exit! I'm really close. Okay, one Earth Seraph isn't bad. One Earth Seraph isn't bad. Let's fight this one. Heal Seraph, more like self-heal Seraph. Yeah. This gave us fuel that we didn't need in order so we can heal ourselves. Alright, okay. Pilot shield. Not the most useful, but it's something. I guess my efforts in detouring were slightly rewarded. You know, a change I'm really glad they made in the Xenoblade games. They didn't do this in Xenosaga, but a change I'm really glad they made in the Xenoblade games, at least, is changing the battle music, changing the regular battle music near the end of the game. All three of the Xenoblade games do that. Either halfway point or sometimes in the near the closer to the end of the game. All three Xenoblade games change their normal battle music. Something I'm really happy that they did in those games, because in both Xenogears and the Xenosaga games, besides Saga 3, the normal battle music gets pretty repetitive. Saga 3 is just goated because it's Saga 3. And the battle music slaps so hard it doesn't have to be repetitive. Okay, now my curiosity is piqued. What's out here? Steven's always so slow, the last one to get on. Okay. Have we been to these before? You guys cannot even comprehend how lost I got my first time through Deus. I thought the final dungeon would be like super easy, but figuring all this stuff out, having to figure out that the tunnels outside loop around, while also getting your ass beat by all of the enemies in the meantime, and having to figure out what exactly you're supposed to do to get to the center part, it's hell. It's not friendly to first-time players. At least it wasn't to me. Maybe I just suck, but you know. Okay, nothing here. Okay, so these tunnels will take us over to the entrance in the northwest corner, which is where we need to go now that we have made a bridge to the center. That's where we can progress, finally. Ugh. Always the Earth Seraphs. There are other types of Seraphs that we haven't seen yet. I want to see. God! These bulky arms do so much damage. At least they haven't done the Halo attacks again yet. Oh my gosh, I spoke too soon. That's why I said yet. Because I do this shit. 8,200 damage. Nearly 8,300 damage. Ridiculous. This should take it out, though. I will investigate the angel armor items when I get out of this. Two heal Seraphs. Okay. Do you... That was a bad voice crack. Do you do anything different? Let me fix silence for you. Try attacking you. Okay. Still refueling. They heal. Not very much, though. Oh, they can attack you too. Oh, damn it. Okay. Don't take their niceness for weakness, I guess. Hang on a sec. Let me at least heal up Fan. As you've probably seen, fixed frames do a lot more. Oh, it went to to hyper mode. Nice. Fixed frames heal a lot more in battle than they do outside of battle. That's kind of the incentive to wait until you're in battle to fix frame rather than just fixing frame over and over when you're outside of battle. Was that an Ether Armor +3 we got there? I didn't quite catch that. Okay. Let's check our equipment that we have gotten. Yes, it was an Ether Armor +3. We've gotten 3 of them so far. Nice. Okay, what about Angel damage down? Okay. These won't be too useful anymore. Got Light Armor +3. Oh, okay. Let's just do Ether Armor +3 on. We'll do that. Ether Armor +3 on our characters. I'm okay with that. Always, as Steve said, the last one on the elevator. Okay. Faye, we should go. This is a point of no return. Before this, you could navigate back your way back through the dungeon. Actually, you may not have been able to. I may be wrong. I think the actual point of no return was exiting the honeycomb section, but whatever. They make it epic anyway. Okay, here we go. Make it all dramatic and shit. We got hit by that one. There. I never know how it's going to flip. It's so annoying. I got hit by that one. Okay, oh, not great. And this place should look familiar. We have reached the part of Merkava that we have seen before. And the dual angel statues. You could ask, very reasonably, why exactly are the angel statues in Merkava? They were supposed to be a symbol of the Nissan sect. Well, think about it. Who constructed Merkava? It was Krelian. Using instructions within the Raziel tree, in Mahanon of course, but it was ultimately Krelian who constructed it. Krelian, all these years later, hasn't completely given up on the sect that he called home for so long. In his very last creation, he gave an homage to the Nissan sect. I think that's pretty cool that they included that detail in there. Not to mention, thematically bringing everything together in the final dungeon. It's very good. So we get a chance to change our party members, and we get a chance to save. Let's see here. What's Zeebsen's frame? Feels kind of low. We'll refuel that in the next battle, though. Oh, we have this. I forgot about this. Yeah, this is something that they added in the second revisit, or the second revisit of Merkava. This wasn't here in the first time. Oh, okay. This is a place you can get out. But more importantly, so it wasn't exactly a point of no return anyway. But more importantly, is a place you can tune up your gears. Let's refuel everyone. leave it then. And Fenrir. The engines and equipment are the same as that which we have bought already at the Snowfield Hideout. But it's a good place you can refuel, buy some other stuff if you'd like. Refuel on ammo if you've been using Billy. Don't think we need anything here. We can buy extra armor deluxes and ether armor plus 3. This is the only place in the game you can buy ether armor plus 3 and light armor plus 3. And of course the extra armor deluxe. We don't have any of these. I guess I don't have anything else to use my money on. Let's just buy some of these. All of them. Just have all of our characters equipped. You can buy character items too from that gear, but not really any point. Let's save after that at least. Okay, now real quick, I'll have to take a brief intermission. I will be back in at most 5 minutes. So. Wait here. Commentaries. Okay. Let's get back to it. So, before we head forward, I want to ask of our viewers, in the final boss, which 3 party members, I mean, you only really get 2, because Faye is guaranteed, but besides Faye, which 2 party members do you want assisting Faye in the final battle against Deus, the final boss? It'll be a little while before we get to that, but let's ponder on it a bit. And put answers in the chat if you already have them. They can be your 2 favorite party members besides Faye and Ellie, I guess. They can be the 2 that you think are the strongest. They can have whatever qualifications you want. Sight and Bart? Alright. So this was the room, if you remember, that we fought Amphisbaena, Ramses' new gear, and when it blew the hole in the wall after we defeated it. So we're backtracking through all of that. These are all of Krelian's test tubes. It actually came from his lab in Solaris. And I'm sure you remember this room. You want to jump inside. This is the actual point of no return. This is Deus. What are those 4 orbs spinning around it? It seems as if the power of those 4 things is supporting the center. So that means that big thing in the middle is the core of Deus. Probably. Who cares about those orbs? Let's just crush the core. Striking directly at the center rather than using fuel unnecessarily. That is one strategy, but I believe another plan of attack would be to defeat its surroundings first. If we decide to attack the supporting orbs first, then it might be wise to leave the battles up to us. We should be able to do something about them without using up base power. That'll allow him to use the full power of Xenogears to defeat Deus. And yes, of course, to save Ellie. Whether we do a direct strike to the core or take down the supports first, I guess that is best left up to Faye to decide. Thanks everyone. To attack Deus directly or to take out its supports first. I wonder which is best. So, at this point, you can go straight to the core and fight the final boss. Although it is going to be a really relentlessly hard fight if you do. It's possible, you can do it. In fact, I've done it before. My second playthrough, I did that. But I won't be doing that here. I'm a bit underpowered for that. This is a very trippy room, by the way. So to explain this, the central core of Deus, the actual final boss, has 4 really devastating attacks that you can seal it from doing if you defeat the 4 orbs. Think of it like Calamity Ganon in Breath of the Wild, if you played that. Where you can make Calamity Ganon much weaker and not have to fight the 4 Phantom Ganons before you fight Calamity Ganon if you go ahead and go through all the Divine Beasts early on. So think of it like that. It's a really unique mechanic for a final boss, not something that I've seen in that many other RPGs as a whole, much less in the Xeno series. But it's pretty interesting. So, I'm going to use this opportunity. Each one of the orbs is its own fight. And you can, they have their own supporting angel that you have to defeat in order to seal one of Deus's 4 incredibly strong orb abilities. So I'm using this opportunity to use all of our party members. We'll be using all of our party members in fighting each one of the orbs, and we'll change party between fighting each of them. So, without further ado, let's go to the first one. And I have no idea what distinguishes them, so I don't know one from the other. Each of them are unique fights, certainly, but... Oh, okay. Okay, we're starting with this one first. You just can't tell from the outside. Metatron! Metatron is probably the easiest of the four, if I had to say. Metatron's orb attack is Earthly Anointment. And if you were to fight Deus in this state, he would have Earthly Anointment. So each one of the orb angels starts out with whatever attack that Deus would have had you not defeated them, if that makes any sense. Earthly Anointment is not as devastating as the other attacks that the other orb angels have. It's just damage. And the other ones have far, far worse effects, so this one's kind of a pushover, not gonna lie. Except all of our attacks are missing. Metatron's one that you can use to charge if necessary. Although, you may want to... Seems to have some high agility, though. It's dodging our attacks. It does have the highest physical defense of the four, though. So that's something that's worth noting. It may take a little longer than the others, but it's relatively easier. Heads down. And it lowers your own defense, too. Ujin! 4,400. Titan's taking a lot there. Head drive. Head dives. Let's go to hyper mode. Why not? With all of our gears. I mean, battle's gonna last that long anyway. Might heal with Titan first. Yeah. There you go. Earthly Anointment again. I think we heal up Titan before that. Deals angel-type damage to all of our party members. Not terrible, though. Kishin. This is a new one. This one you specifically unlock when you reach level 70 with Fey. This is Xenogears' strongest move. 9280. Good stuff. Let's do it again. Finish him off. I don't think he has too much HP, so this should finish him. No? More than I thought? Okay. Well, fine. Beat up on Titan some more, I guess. Alright, defeated Deus Power Metatron, and we sealed Deus' Earth Anointing. Good. You get one EXP for each of these fights, so they're not worth it if you're trying to grind, but they are worth it if you want to make it easier to fight. Alright, so now that we have the first one defeated, I now know what the other three are, because I know their order, but it's impossible to know which one you're attacking first because all the orbs look the same. So that helps me because you definitely want specific party members for specific fights, or you don't want to have specific party members for other fights. We'll go after Harloot next. So we'll do Bart and Billy. Nah, Bart and Rico. Yeah. Let's do it. Harloot, in relation to Metatron, is the next one to the right counterclockwise. That'll be this one. Very crazy designs here. I believe they're all named after real mythological angels. So, Harloot's main thing is this move Space and Time. He locks 2 of your 3 party members. So in this case, Bart and Rico. They can't move for the rest of the fight. This is not a fight, and it's random, by the way. This is not a fight, for instance, that you would want to take someone like Choo Choo to, because there's a chance, if you have Choo Choo, that Harloot just locks your other 2 party members besides Choo Choo. Which wouldn't be too good. Other than that, though, Harloot's not too bad. And I guess if I really wanted to, I can use... Oh, I don't have any. Whoa, I don't even have any status restoring. Okay, whatever. Let's just keep beating at him. Oh, maybe this allows them to move again? It does. Okay, nice. Yeah, there's a chance that you can get stuck using Choo Choo, and that can be tough. You don't want to bring Choo Choo into this battle. Come on, Styre. Guess we might as well put the other 2 in booster mode. They give nothing to Metatron. So SMT usually gives some background to all the enemies in the game except for Metatron. With nothing. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Metatron is an SMT enemy. Heavenly Anointment. I believe this is the attack that seals from Deus. Yeah, just the stop on one of your partners. And the other one. So Styre is our holdout here. Slow. Okay. I'll put you in booster. Styre is notoriously slow. Sure, do it again. Why not? Hyper mode. It's gonna do a lot of damage. Yeah, okay. Hyper mode, please. Shoot. What do I want to do here? Heal up Bard because we're gonna end up using him in the final battle. And definitely heal up Faye. A 20% chance to go into hyper mode? Come on now. The other 2 are stopped now too. Rico, you had 1 chance in the entire game to be useful, and you blew it. And you're going to slow down the one that's already been stopped. Sure. Kick yourself in the foot like that. All 9s there. Alright, Rico. Hyper mode. Or you're just gonna let Faye beat him before you. You really shit on Rico. It does nothing but shit on Rico, man. He didn't even finish his story. I've complained about that enough already, but they really didn't even finish Rico's story. Yeah, didn't even give him a chance. Sucks. You would learn something on Rico. Not going to be too useful since it's probably a ground move, but whatever. Alright, we'll heal when we get into the fight. Let's go with... Yeah, we'll go with Marloot next. This one's probably the most annoying. We're gonna need the Z chargers. So let me get the Z chargers off of Maria and Citan, and then I can just put them on whatever of our other party members. Might as well take the ether armors too. Billy, Emeralda. Okay, we need to give them the Z chargers. I wanted to keep her with the power magic though, so I'm not gonna give her any armor. May not be a best idea, but it's something. Prefer she have the power magic. That's the plan. I was actually gonna give Rico a second chance. Yeah, that was the plan. Bring in Choo Choo and Rico. Alright, let me just make sure I have notes here. Which one's Marloot? Marloot is this one. Marloot is counted as a human-type enemy, so you cannot do death blows against it. Not to mention, its orb ability is an attack called Fuel Drain, as you can see here. This attack sucks. This is easily the most useful one to attack to take away from Deus. You don't want the core of Deus having that attack. But that just means that this fight is annoying, to say the least. You can't do death blows, and you have your fuel constantly taken from you the whole fight. This is why you want the Z Charger for this fight. The Z Chargers kind of make the fuel drain moot because I think it only takes like 400 fuel. You can Z Charge out of that pretty quickly. Let's use an ether attack. Let's go for it. Aqua Dom. Whatever that means. The most hated character and the most shit on character. Yeah, that's gonna be for the final orb. I agree. So really, your best bet here is just to go into hyper mode with all of your gears. I'm just gonna have Xenogears try to charge. Alright, I said it was going to charge. I did that without the... Damn! Okay. You wear HP, why don't you? Jeez, this is gonna kill Emeralda. No. Okay, not as strong. Not as strong. It's fine. Or maybe it's just half health. Actually, thinking that may just be half health. Okay, sure. Charge. You charge. Oh my god. Booster, why not? Not gonna use them for anything. Heal yourself. I can't! Damn it! Oh no! Well, if I'm wrong... Okay, no, it's just half. Okay, it's just half health. Alright, we're good. I've confirmed it. Okay, we can't get too low, though. Yeesh, okay. Booster with you. You're not in hyper mode yet! Damn it. In hyper mode. Charge. Mother spamming Megalodon. Okay, there we go. Dark Force. Except it doesn't do anything. But it can charge more. Holy climb. I was thinking maybe it would still do the hyper mode death blows, even if it wouldn't do the normal mode death blows, but I guess I was wrong. Just can't do damage to it. At least enough damage. Oh my gosh, okay, she's gonna need to heal. Charge with Faye. He can heal on the next turn. Fuck it. Jesse Blasta! Jesse can have one last hurrah. Doesn't do substantially more, but whatever. Okay, heal with... Yeah, heal with Xenogears at least. Gonna need Xenogears alive. Do it again. Keep you alive. I guess you too. Okay, at some point we're just gonna need to attack with Xenogears. Let's do it. I can charge 10 times. Hyper mode. It's useful. It's 5,000 with one charge. Charge. Attack. Okay, there we go. Oh my gosh. Someone has made a mod for Terraria that replaced all of Terraria's normal tracks with Xenoblade tracks. Nice. Okay, Marlu's down. That's the worst one. That's by far the worst one. I guess I could have used that chance to to refuel Xenogears, but I just have to wait in the last battle to do that. Okay. Let me do a check before I do this. Let me do a check on Bart and Citan on their fuel before the final battle. Because as much as I, well, hate Choo Choo, as much as I want to give Rico another chance, it may actually be advantageous. Okay, he's at 6240 with 16,000 HP. Let's heal him up a little bit. Takes away some fuel, but we can get that back pretty easily. You, same thing. Him, I'm just gonna fix frame and refuel during the next fight. So we're just gonna have Anvari and Fenrir charge up for the first few turns of the final fight. Okay, last battle. Rico, Choo Choo. I kept my promise. Let me. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe. Oh, okay. I need to get the Z chargers off Billy and Emeralda anyway. So let me get that at least. And I may put one of the Z chargers on Rico, or I may not need it. What's his fuel at? 3480. I probably don't need it. I could heal him. I'll give it to him just in case. I'll give him the my ether armor plus 3s and there we go. Of course, I can't equip anything onto Choo Choo. She doesn't have fuel anyway. Let's go. Sundell. Last of the 4 Orb Angels. Alright, so it will do this attack called Targeting, did it on Rico. If you attack with Rico, it's again shitting on Rico. Even when we try to give Rico another chance, it's again shitting on Rico. So if we attack with Rico, it will counterattack him. So you don't want to do that. Alright, I'm going to get Xenogears up to hyper mode. I guess I could do that immediately with okay, just never mind. One sec. Okay, sorry about that. That was unexpected. Let's keep going. Okay, so you guys gonna die otherwise. I'm just healing. And I can have Choo-Choo heal any of our gears when necessary. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that to Xenogears just so I don't have to use as much fuel on a fixed frame. That'll be Choo-Choo's job in this fight, just to heal our gears. It's one thing it's good at. Oh, I forgot it can heal itself! Damn, okay. Oh, counterattacks is everyone, okay. Alright, well... Heal. Yeah, Choo-Choo bouncing around is kind of a tonal juxtaposition. It's not healing much, though. I'll charge on the third turn with Xenogears. That'll give me back 5,000. So really all of these fights have just been Xenogears carrying and then the rest of the party members being accessories. Sounds like the rest of the game, honestly. Oh, okay, well, that was easy. And I didn't get a chance to charge. That's not good. That's not very good. I probably should have charged the first turn. Oh shit. Gosh, one sec. Okay, if the stream starts buffering, I'm really sorry. There's nothing I can do about that. I got a notification from on my YouTube studio that it would start buffering, so I'm very sorry about that. Okay. Well, that is all of the Orb Angels down, and that was the first time we have used Choo-Choo as a gear, or I guess the second time we've used Choo-Choo as a gear the entire game. So it learned a new spell that is completely useless. Okay. Definitely should have charged on the first turn of Hyper Mode with Xenogears, but that's okay. I need to get the Z Charger off Rico really quick. Xenogears is basically just SMT protagonists doing 95% of the damage with the other party members, and cheerleaders doing chip damage, raising your stat. Yep. I believe we've talked about that before. Okay. Get the Z Charger off of him. Then... Bart. And make sure we're equipped. Z-Charger. Arm +3, we got the best whip for him. Ether armor +3, or actually, This may be more useful. I don't know. He has some just plain ether attacks too, in addition to angel attacks. So this, I don't know. He already has the lowest ether defense. Oh, okay. This may be most useful on him, honestly. In Xenogears. Let's do it. Just give it a shot. And then Z-Charger. And we're good. He needs to heal. Now we're out of fuel. Okay. So here's the plan. The first... I actually got a bag of popcorn for this? Alright, we're about to finish the game here. Alright, so here's the plan. First few turns of the fight, we quickly get Xenogears to hyper mode, and then charge. Immediately charge with Xenogears. Don't wait anything, just charge. He has an attack that can inflict stop on a party member. As long as he doesn't do that for Xenogears, then we're good. And we can just have the others, I don't know, attack him, I guess. Or honestly, they can go into hyper mode too. It probably wouldn't be too bad for them. Let's just have everyone go into hyper mode, charge, and then attack. That's the plan. That's the plan. And I'm gonna try to get in one Yggdrasil charge with Bart before the battle's over. Okay. I'm actually nervous. My heart's kind of beating here. Because this is not an easy, even with all the orb angels defeated, this is not an easy fight. So if you die, does that mean you have to redo all the orbs again? Yes, yes, because the last save was before you defeat all the orbs. So yes, a death here is punishing. You have to go through all the orbs again. So, oh boy. All right, let's do it. Let's win our freedom back. All my gear equipment's good, right? All my gear equipment's good, right? Yep. Just going with the Angel Armor S on Xenogears and see what happens. Oh dear. Let's do it! Now let's listen to this kick-ass song. Yes, the angels are counterattacking. Yes, this is only one phase. Yes, it looks like the future redeemed final boss. And yes, this song is kick-ass. It's called Awakening in the soundtrack, and it's really, really good. It's like the one different boss theme you get in the entire game, besides one who is torn apart. They may be counterattacking, but it's still going to be useful to just try to get us to hyper mode. There's really nothing else we can do about them. Not doing a whole ton of damage, so I think it will be okay. Kishin! Okay, if there's any party member I'd want them to gang up on there, it would be Sidon. That's good. I'm okay with that. I have one more turn in hyper mode. Let's just Kishin again. He has pretty high speed. He can probably get to another turn and heal before the raids attack again. Cosmic Crusher is a pretty devastating move. That's really the one I'm worried about. I just want that high damage before hyper mode goes away. Okay, I'm putting my other gears in booster mode to propel them into hyper mode. All right, Faye, fixed frame, heal up. Titan, let's refuel you first. Then go all out, Zenretsu. I just gotta say, I really, really love this final boss. I've already talked about how the whole angel gimmick is innovative for an RPG, but the whole setup behind it, the atmosphere of Deus itself, the music, it's all really, really good stuff. Let's charge. Why not? Kind of a sitting duck right now. Might as well just charge. Let's put Anvari in booster. Now, hopefully Anvari can be in booster mode, or be in hyper mode as well. Just go all out with both of them. Yeah, I would say all in all, Xenogears has probably either third or fourth. Oh, it's done! We just did that much damage with our party. Wow. Yeah, it's probably my third or fourth favorite final boss in the series. Just under the Malos fight and the Zed fight. Malos Torna, by the way. Torna the Golden Temple. What happened? My gear won't budge anymore. The Zohar modifier has ceased functioning. That is probably the reason why our gears cannot move anymore. There is only a slight energy response coming from the core now. What about Ellie? What's happening to her inside of that thing? The Deus system's bind on her should have worn off by now. So why aren't we getting any kind of response? You don't think we hurt her in that battle, too? Faye, calm down. The sensors are picking up a response from a life form within Deus. It is probably Ellie, so do not worry. I believe she is okay. Ellie! Can you hear me, Ellie? Deus is no longer active. It's all over now, so come out of there. Show me your face. Ellie! Ellie! What's happening? Doc, what's going on? What's wrong? I am now detecting a tremendous amount of energy coming from within Deus. It seems as if something that was sealed up till now has suddenly been freed and is growing enormously. It couldn't be. The wave existence! The wave existence? That's gotta be it. The wave existence was just freed from its cage of fleshly existence in Zohar. It's probably attempting to return to the higher dimension that it originally came from. Which means this is the after effect of the dimensional shift. What do you mean, after effect? It is like a shockwave that is induced by the dimensional displacement. But so much energy. If this much energy is unleashed here now, if so much energy is unleashed, then what will happen, Doc? Tell us! Then this planet will be annihilated. These numbers indicate that it has more than enough energy to take out a whole planet. What you mean? You can't be serious. Y'all fought so hard, only to see this happen? Isn't there anything we can do? Can't we stop the after effect? Unfortunately, there is nothing we can do. Almost all machinery, including our gears, are out of commission due to Zohar having been shut down. This time, there is nothing we can do. To put it to you straight, this is the end for us. This is freaking stupid! How the hell could it all end like this? What were we all fighting for up until now? The vibrations are intensifying. Hold on a sec! No, these vibrations are different! There has to be something else causing it. Look! Deus is rising. What is it this time? Deus is releasing its remaining energy is beginning to accelerate. If it continues to accelerate at this rate, it will soon leave the atmosphere. You don't think... Think what? That's Ellie. Ellie is moving Deus. Are you sure? I'm sure of it. Ellie is trying to save us by moving Deus away from our planet. She's going to sacrifice herself. Just like she did in all those previous lifetimes. I can't be... Oh, Ellie! Can't we do anything? We can't just sit here and watch this happen, can we? Wait, there's still something I can do. What is it, Faye? My gear still works. Without Zohar, the power source for your gears, the only gear that now remains active is mine. Just like Deus, my gear and I made contact with Zohar. We are the only ones who can move now. I'm going to go save Ellie. That is absurd. Even if you were able to catch up to Deus, you will not have enough energy to make it back. Even so, I still must go. Ellie's taking the whole burden upon herself. If anything happens to her, I want to be there with her. Hey, just wait a minute. You know I'm not going to stand by and let you commit double suicide. That's what you're planning. Bart. You better come back alive, you hear? Promise me. Promise me that you will come back. Then I'll let you go. Thanks, Bart. Promise. I promise you that I will return. With Ellie. You better. Yeah, of course. Alright, then get going. But... Let's let him go, Sighton. At this point, Faye's the only one that'll be able to bring Ellie back. There's nothing we can do or say or do about it. You are right, Faye. You are right. Faye, keep your promise. No matter what. Faye and Ellie. Both of you. Come back home. We'll be waiting for you, Chew. I appreciate this. Bart, and the rest of you, well, I'd better get going now. But don't worry, I will be back soon. Guess this will be the last journey you and I make together. I'm counting on you, partner. This song that is playing right now is called One Who Bears Fangs at God. It is my favorite song in Xenogears, and one of my favorite songs in all of gaming. Where am I? There's Ellie. This must mean that I am inside of Deus. Not exactly. Your actual body is but a physical object. It has merely been absorbed into Deus' outer shell. Only your consciousness is here. Of course, the girl you perceive in front of you is also not a true being. Your consciousness is merely creating her image. Just like the wave existence. The wave existence? No, that's not you. Who are you? It can't be. Is that you, Krellian? That's right, isn't it? Krellian! It was you who did this to Ellie! The path of Sephiroth has been connected. No one can stop God from returning to his world now. So what have you come here for, Lacan? I came here to take the person I love back with me, so set Ellie free. The Deus system has been destroyed. It's all over now. So instead I ask you, what are you hoping to achieve now? The time when all things started, the place where all things were one. I am going to return there. What place? Before the beginning of the universe, in the undulating waves of the higher dimension, all things were one. It was the waves spilling out from there that created this four-dimensional universe of ours. Humankind and the souls of humankind that were born from there are merely leftovers of those spilled waves. So, you're going back there. Is that what you desired? Lacan, why such reluctance to become one with the god? What attachment could you possibly have to this wretched old world? What meaning can be found in living out such a short existence? Hurting others, hurting yourself, grinding one another down, only to inevitably die and return to dust. Why, everything we could ever desire is here. No need to be troubled by the need for love, for this place is filled with the love of God. I have not lost hope in humans as much as you have, Krellian. Someday humankind will come to understand one another. I sincerely believe that. How can you be so sure? Humans will never come to understand each other. You said that she is the person you love, but can you say that you even truly understand each other? All humans do is place themselves at a comfortable distance from each other and call that mutual understanding, spiritual unity, or true love. But it is all lies. Man cannot associate with others without first deceiving themselves. That is the way that we were created. But one being's ego can't determine everyone's fate. People have the right to choose their own destiny. That's why humans have free will. And what if that will itself was predetermined? What then? Oh, what folly. Humans are just primitive life forms that have no such things as free will. Mankind has merely been allowed to live in an imperfect state. As is, as will be. It is for this very reason, because humans have this wretched will or whatnot, that humans must experience sadness and loss. For someone to gain something means another must lose it. It is impossible to make humankind share limited things and affections. So I came to the conclusion that everything must be reverted back to where it all began. To go back to when it all was one, waves and nothing else. It is not my human's ego, it is the will of the waves, the will of God. Well, that's alright too. You don't have to be perfect. Actually, being imperfect makes mankind live by helping each other. That's what being human is. That's the Nissan sect doctrine. That's mutual understanding. That's unity and love. I'm glad, no, I'm proud to be human. Ellie placed the future, tomorrow, in our hands, based on our choice, and she is working to keep Deus far from our planet. She is also trying to heal your heart, you who wants to journey all alone to be with God. Can't you understand Ellie's feelings? Do you have to become one with God before you are able to comprehend all of this? I understand. I know her feelings, as if they were my own. Yes, she and I are one. We don't need God's help. Well then, prove it to me. Show me this power of humans. Show me this love that you say can make you independent of God. One final battle in the path of Sephiroth against Ouroboros, mistranslated Ouroboros. This is the final form of Miang, and the final form of the Mother. If you remember, within Ellie rested the Ouroboros ring, which was the indicator, the genetic indicator that she was the Mother. She was the incarnation of the Mother. This being, Ouroboros, is the Ouroboros ring made incarnate. with Miang's consciousness. So effectively, this is the last bit of Deus that we must destroy to truly free our world. To truly show Krellian, humans can be free, humans can be imperfect, and we don't need managers. Faye. It was Krellian. Krellian released me. Krellian? Yes, I came to understand after becoming one with Krellian. His heart was so full of sadness. That is why he desired for he and I to become one with God. Because that would be the return to the beginning of everything. He told me, you should be with him. That is what he said. You see, he already knew. Yes, he already knew. How I felt, how you felt. There was nothing we or he could do. He had no choice but to go forward, even if it meant he lost all feelings, lost everything that was human. For all humankind's sake, there was no going back. Even looking back held too many memories. And he would have just wanted to go back, even though he couldn't. So please forgive him. Krellian loved people more than anyone else. I somehow knew that all along. I just knew he was really that kind of person. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. I was wrong. I thought sacrificing myself in order to save others was the right thing to do, but my actions only brought sadness to all the people who I left behind, and that sadness gave birth to even more sadness. As long as I still live within you, my life is not just mine alone. Ellie, that isn't wrong. Sacrifice yourself for others is a noble thing. Even if it were to benefit yourself, it's no problem. There will always be a person healed, one or the other. Love gains its original shine only when there is an interrelationship between the giver and the receiver. It is incomplete when one or the other is missing. The two are one. It was you, Ellie, who taught me that. I believe that is what it means to be human. I can now understand the true importance of it. I don't know if it's the right thing or right answer or not, but we have a lot of time to think about it. What Krellian himself was looking for all along, we will find the answer to it all, ourselves. Thank you, Faye. Ellie.
Let's return to our planet.
That light. It's the point of contact with our world. But the dimensional shift has already begun. Will we make it in time?
Can you run?
If we're together, I can.
Krillian, you.
There's no time. This place is about to be destroyed. Now there is no more God. This is no longer their planet. This is your home planet that you are now standing on.
Krillian, you aren't going, are you?
No. Since that time, I have stopped being human. I've committed so many sins that any attempt at living like a human is impossible. The only one who could have forgiven me was God.
That's not true. I know they would understand. There's still plenty of time to atone for your sins. You, of all people, could do it.
Always the peacemaker, eh, Lacan? Perhaps that's what it means to be human. But regardless, I cannot go. It's something I've already decided. I go to walk with God, even if there's no place left for me upon my return. I must go now.
Krillian.
Actually, I envy you too.
What happened?
Waves from the explosion disrupted the ionosphere, making it impossible to get a visual. They were probably caught up in the explosion.
That's a lie! He'll come back. He promised us he would. I know it.
like a proud wolf alone in the dark, with eyes that watch the world, and my name like a shadow on the face of the moon. Broken mirror, a million shades of light, the old echo fades away, but
Episode 5, huh? I remember being so confused when I saw that for the first time. That I will explain when we talk about Perfect Works in the bonus stream. Yeah, Xenogears was meant to be part of a series, but of course, I mean, Xenogears sold well, like relatively well, but not well enough for Squaresoft to greenlight a sequel or a prequel, and that's when Monolith Soft left Squaresoft and made their own company. Or actually, they became acquired by Namco Bandai, made Xenosaga for Namco Bandai, and then left Namco Bandai and were bought by Nintendo. But yeah, that's Xenogears. Really, really amazing game. I am happy I played it again. There's a lot of really. There are some bad parts that I forgot about that I realize maybe some of the story bits kind of clouded my judgment of them. But there's also I was kind of viewing it through rose-tinted glasses, may have forgotten some of the bad parts because there is a lot of tedium in Xenogears. That's true. But as frustrating as it can be sometimes, as tedious as it can be sometimes, as long and convoluted of a story as it can be, it's really incredible. And there's so much it does right. There's so much incredible stuff in Xenogears, and when you can get your head wrapped around the story, it has a really powerful message about the nature of humanity. Because at the core of all of its sci-fi, convoluted religion, philosophy craziness is a story about humanity. It's what it means to be human, what we can all do in our everyday lives, and the constant search for wholeness. It's a really beautiful story. You can definitely see the vision that Takahashi and Tanaka wanted for the story. Of course, you can see the vision better in the later Xeno games, but you can definitely see what they were going for with Xenogears if you can really get into the story and understand it. So, all that being said, a couple of things I want to say about that ending. First of all, that the credit song that is titled "Small Two of Pieces." You probably saw it in the credits. "Small Two of Pieces, Screeching Shards" is the official name of that song. It was actually the first English vocal recording ever used in a video game soundtrack. So Xenogears is pretty historic for that. Before that, there was never an English vocal song ever used. There may have been recordings. I was wrong about that. There may have actually been recordings. But as far as an English vocal song, "Small Two of Pieces" was the first to ever be used in a video game. Pretty cool. It was sung by Joanne Hogg, who, if you have played Xenoblade 3 Future Redeemed, you may recognize her voice. She sang "Future Awaits," the credit song to Future Redeemed. She also sang the two vocal songs in Xenosaga Episode 1. So she's kind of her voice is pretty tied with the Xeno series legacy, which adds even more meaning to her coming back in Future Redeemed to kind of cap it all off. The Xeno series isn't over, but the Xenoblade series at least was over. At least that chronology of it. Gave it an even extra meaning if you've already played Xenogears and Xenosaga Episode 1 and you know her voice. And that, at least for me, that was a real special thing to hear her come back. It's a beautiful song. It's the song, the music box song "Distant Promise," which we've heard many times throughout the game, basically the main theme of Xenogears, but with some vocals and with lyrics. So it's good. It's very good. And of course, it brings up all of the symbols and all of the imagery and the themes that we've seen throughout the game. The broken mirror, a million shades of light, bringing back all the great Xenogears symbolism. I also wanted to talk about Krelian before we end this off here. So I haven't spent as much time talking about Krelian, or at least I feel I haven't spent as much time talking about Krelian compared to my time talking about the other villains. And of course, Groff and Ramses are both great. You know, the whole villain cast of Xenogears is really fantastic. Krellian, I feel like I haven't spent as much time talking about because I wanted to wait till the very end to really get a good grasp of what exactly Krellian's motivations are and how they've changed in the past 500 years. That scene 500 years ago in the Nisan tragedy in the Shavat Solaris War, when Sophia sacrificed herself to save Nisan. And he was standing on top of that hill professing, you know, the god of the Nisan sect betrayed all of us. God isn't real. I'm going to make God himself. And he made a 500-year-long journey seeking science and technology, rising himself through the ranks of Solaris to make God himself. He learned about the whole plan behind Deus and basically contravened the entire thing for himself, made his own Project Noah, and Merkava and what Deus became were the results of that. But in the end, it's unknown whether he knew about the wave existence from the beginning and intended to, the whole Project Noah was intended for the goal of uniting humanity with the wave existence, or whether that may have been something that he figured out later along the way and his motivations kind of changed. But either way, eventually along the way, he discovered the truth about the wave existence, and the wave existence being hidden within Zohar, and the truth behind how life all started from the wave existence, and saw a better future for humanity within that. His goals changed from a selfish one to a selfless one. That's character development. You may not like it. You may not think it was the best option for humanity, but he did have humanity's best interest in mind. He did not want suffering. And that's a philosophical debate worth having. I fall on Faye's side of the debate myself. I do believe that the inherent, and I believe Xenogears does too, I think Takahashi does too, the inherent imperfection of humanity is actually part of the beauty of being human and the beauty of life, that we can help each other through our imperfections, and that is actually through our imperfections that we come to understand each other. There's some background noise, I apologize about that. But yeah, it's a good philosophical debate. It's really the one that's at the core of what Xenogears is all about. It's great. Also, I don't think I ever discussed where Krellian's name comes from. In the Japanese, his name is Carolyn. That name comes from a book, a science fiction book by Arthur C. Clarke, who is probably more well known for writing 2001: A Space Odyssey, the book series before the movie. The movie actually isn't based on the book. It's based on another work by Arthur C. Clarke called The Sentinel, but it's misnamed. Anyway, there's a whole story behind that. Arthur C. Clarke is very well known for making 2001: A Space Odyssey. And there is also some 2001: A Space Odyssey inspiration in Xenogears. Of course, the Zohar is based on the HAL 9000 from 2001: A Space Odyssey. If you've seen it, it's a monolithic supercomputer, like AI. Zohar isn't an AI, but it does have that same monolith shape. And it was discovered on a planet a long time ago. So there's some inspiration there. But anyway, Arthur C. Clarke wrote another book called Childhood's End. In Childhood's End, there's a group of aliens called the Overlords that come to Earth and start manipulating all of their politics behind the scenes and start like taking control of the Earth, kind of like Solaris. You can see some of their inspiration behind that. Well, the leader of the Overlords was an alien named Carolyn, and that's where Carolyn came from. That's Krellian's name in Japanese. So Krellian is his name in English. Krellian had good intentions, but his method was extreme. His method was definitely extreme. But there are times when, I do think suffering is an inherent part of life. In fact, sometimes I think it can be a beautiful part of life, because I think you can learn things from suffering. But it's certainly a knee-jerk reaction that a lot of people have when they go through really, really intense suffering to just want the suffering to end and never want this to happen to anyone else. And that's really where Krellion's intentions came from. He went through such tragedy. His whole worldview was completely destroyed when Sophia sacrificed herself. And that's really what caused the cavalcade of events that led to the end of Xenogears. One more thing on the post-credit scene in Xenogears that showed the Catamony, which was, if you remember, was the biological supercomputer that the mother used to create all of the humans 10,000 years ago after the Eldritch crash. The game showing Catamony after the resting on that hill after the credits implies that that is what Faye and Ellie used to restart humanity. Because keep in mind, a lot of humanity went extinct over the course of Disc 2, mutating into wells, those wells conglomerating into Sufal masses to serve as Krellion's army, then those Sufal masses becoming one with Deus at some point. So, not to mention when Deus morphed, it started destroying civilization anyway. So a lot of humanity, there's a lot of humanity's dead. I would say a good 95% of mankind is dead by the end of Xenogears. So Faye and Ellie had to do some restarting, just as Kim and Ellie had to do back in Zavoim when they created Emeralda. And really just as, Lacan kind of caused the Day of Collapse, because Graf was the one that summoned the Diabolos, but, someone had to restart after 98% of humanity died to the Diabolos 500 years ago. But this time, Faye and Ellie were both alive. In all those previous lifetimes, Ellie sacrificed herself. And Ellie died before Faye. This is the one time where Faye was able to stop Ellie from sacrificing herself again, even though those innate instincts were within her, the antitype instincts, the mother instincts. Anyway, that's it for Xenogears for now. But join me next time. She'll probably be in at least a month, maybe more, about a month and a half. I will do another stream where I will just be talking about Perfect Works and some other things. There's some other kind of bonus content, not within the game itself, but out of the game that I do want to talk about regarding Xenogears. And I'll be answering any questions that anyone has about the story, because I know the story is still very convoluted, and there's no way that you understand everything on a first playthrough. It took me multiple playthroughs to fully comprehend Xenogears' story, and reading through Perfect Works to really, really get a grasp of it. And I'll just be kind of wrapping up any loose ends, talking about Perfect Works and what Perfect Works shows, talking about the episodes. They're originally going to be 6 episodes. I'll talk about what those were meant to be, which Perfect Works has a full timeline of what they were meant to be. I think it's really it's pretty amazing. We can talk about all of the content that was cut from Xenogears in production, how Disc 2 was rushed, how there was a lot of cut content. We can talk about all of that, but I think it's really worth being grateful that Xenogears got to be finished to begin with. There are so many stories of games that go through the same kind of deadline crunch that Xenogears did, and just didn't get finished, never got released, or are still in development hell today. So I think I'm grateful at least that Xenogears got to happen, and even if we didn't get to see all of the content in the main game, we at least have enough in the main game to put pieces together, and a lore book that has everything that they couldn't fit in the main game. I think that's something to be grateful for. Anyway, bonus stream next, and after that, I will be starting Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. And in the meantime, it's something to look forward to. I'll be upgrading my my microphone and headset system, and I'll be getting a face cam. So it's going to be some things I'm going to be investing in to try to improve my streams here. Anyway, everyone have a good night. I will see y'all in the bonus stream. Y'all have a Merry Christmas as well.